Hi there, so in this video I'll be teaching you about basic LaTeX. So first off, I've just typed a line here, and you can see typing this in, that's normal LaTeX, normal text mode. You can see it just formats as if you're using Microsoft Word or something else. Then having a look at this % sign, this means the code is commented out, so it won't show up in the output. However, if I just remove the % on this one, put it in on this one, the next line, and you can see that it will change what's visible. So let me explain. So if I was to put the same text as above in maths mode, by putting $1 at each end, it removes all the spaces and formats it in italics. Maths mode is useful for typesetting mathematical equations and so on. And then moving on to the next line, there are two different types of math mode. Normal math mode with $1 on each side, and display math mode with $2 on each side. So you can see that normal math mode just formats it inline. Display math mode formats it down the center line of the page and centralizes it if your expression is longer than just a number. Right, now moving on, a little lesson on spacing here. So here I've got 2 lines of text. If I run it here I've just put a paragraph between them. They're just on 2 separate lines. You can see it formats it as if there was just a space between them. Moving on to the next bit, which is if, as you can see on the code on the left, which is I put a line gap between them. And if you look, that now means they're on a new line, not really much of a gap. Then next we have using the vspace command, which is, as I mentioned in my previous video, a very useful vertical space. So you can see this when it runs will put a real big gap that you can use, and you can toggle it from 1, and you could use any number in there to change the size. Right, now moving on again, so to some common math mode symbols. Right, so let's go through these one by one. You've got times, which is \times. You've got division, which is \div. You've got plus and minus, which are just plus and minus. You've got plus or minus, which is \pm. There are 2 different ways of formatting fractions, which are accessed by this button and this button as a shortcut. And are \frac and \dfrac. So you can see dfrac is a lot larger and gives more space between the numerator and the denominator. Now that's useful for if you've got an equation you're putting out on its own line. However, if you're typesetting inline, you might want to use the \frac notation. Moving on to superscripts and subscripts, which are accessed by these 2 buttons. You've got superscript, it uses a caret, subscript use an underbar. Now square roots, they're accessed by this button, and you can see here that just puts a square root symbol under what you put in squiggly brackets here. Now you can see that when I've got a longer number or an expression that's more than 1 character long in an exponent or a subscript, you could see I have to put it in squiggle brackets. So if I take these out, you could see that it thinks that only the 2's part of the exponent. And as it was before, if I put it back, you could see that it would just be 21. Right, now moving back on to the various notation of brackets. So first we just have the simple parentheses, open and close, which are just formatted as you would expect in math mode. Now moving on to square brackets, which are again formatted as you would expect, just the square bracket key on the keyboard in math mode. Then moving on, it's a bit different this one, to squiggly brackets. You have to put a \/ in front of them, otherwise it just formats an empty space on the right. Right, so moving on now to the different sizes of brackets. So you can use the command \left and \right around the brackets. You can use any bracket type in this. I was just using parentheses as an easy example. You can see that this auto sizes brackets, left and right command, to the arguments inside them. And then moving on to manual sizes, you can see I've got one here already, the \big, and then it just goes up in size. I put these in size order, \big, \bigg, and \bigg. And you could see that these are ordered in increasing size. And you can see this for comparison. You can see that the size slowly increases. Right, a few other notes. You can see that I've been pointing you to these buttons here, which are shortcut buttons, which allow you to typeset some common notation quite quickly. Again, here, if you're ever stuck on a symbol, then you could always use these. These give you symbols that will give you the command for, and if you need any packages to format them, then it'll tell you those as well. And you can see you can go down here, and it's sorted into nice categories. It's got Greek letters and so on. So that was a quick intro into LaTeX basic capabilities. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.